right, Aaron Brightman here, Scarlet Faithful, coming to you from a different location, kind of makeshift setup here, early Thursday morning. Rutgers coming off a 89-85 overtime victory over Washington late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning at 1:15. The game concluded. It's a little before 7 here. I get up at 4:15, so I wasn't going to record right after the game. So coming off a little sleep, having a little coffee. And let's talk about an important win for Rutgers. That certainly puts them two games in the win column above the cut line for the Big Ten tournament. But most encouragingly, the big three came through for Rutgers in a big way. Dylan Harper looking like himself once again, looking like the Dylan Harper of November, December, dominating the game, was aggressive, much better in terms of his intent, his purpose, his mentality compared to the last two games where he was really 2-3 games really settling for threes, not looking to get downhill as much. I don't know how much wear and tear he's dealing with. I'm sure there is some. Obviously had that ankle injury not that long ago, but he looked a full go last night, and he just looked to attack from the beginning. 9 of 18 from the floor, 4 of 8 from 3 for him, which is big. 12 of 14 from the line, 34 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Just a monster game for him. Played 41 of the 45 minutes and made some key plays throughout the game. And obviously, coming through at the line for them like that. Rutgers overall, 37 free throw attempts in this game. It's crazy. I mean, they were 0 of 7 from the floor in overtime, and they win the game because they were 8 of 12 from the line in overtime. Overall, 26 of 37, 70%. Not great, not terrible. Washington, only 9 of 15 from the line, 60%. Rutgers held them 2 of 8 in overtime. But to get to overtime, they were down 1 point. Jeremiah Williams with a huge steal off an inbounds pass to great Asabor, who ended up fouling out on the play. Jeremiah hit 1 of 2, could have clinched the win, but tied it. And then Rutgers was really key, was getting that offensive rebound, preventing Washington from getting the last possession of regulation. Dylan Harper missed a 3 before they went into overtime and took control. And that was the difference with great Asabor off the court. He had 17 points, 8 of 11 from the floor, just 5 boards, 4 assists. But that was a huge difference. And the flip side was Ace Bailey playing with 4 fouls, most of the, a good 10-plus minutes of the second half. The way Peichel and Bailey managed that situation, I thought Ace's mentality was much better in this game, too. He played much more, his shot selection was better. He was more mature in just being able to stay on the floor, understanding his importance. I thought he flashed better defensively. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 of 13 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 of 9 from the line. But again, Harper and Bailey also just 2 turnovers each, which is low for them. As a team, Rutgers just 12 turnovers in 45 minutes. That's very good. As a team, they shot 47%. 9 of 19 from 3, though, 47%. That was huge. It was a back-and-forth game. It was an entertaining game. It was a game Rutgers had to have. And after the last 2 games, which to me were the most dispiriting, disheartening, upsetting games of the season, just in terms of an effort standpoint, in terms of an energy, urgency standpoint, not playing smart. I was very upset with this team, and I think everyone is, rightfully so. And to see them respond on this West Coast road trip and get a win that they needed to get against a team that would have leapfrogged them in the standings shows that this team still has something left. I mean, I think at this point, what I'm hoping for is for this team to go down swinging, to show that they still are invested and care. And, it's never too late. I mean, that's what NC State proved last year. It's never too late for things to click. I'm not saying Rutgers is going to emulate or repeat a NC State type run, 3 minutes from elimination in their first conference tournament game all the way to the Final Four. But you just want to see this team give themselves a chance. You just want to see this team go down swinging. Lathan Somerville, I thought, was tremendous. Early in this game, gave them a punch offensively, made 4 early free throws. And I thought he did a pretty solid job against Great Elsobor. I think, it was a tough assignment for him. He's growing up. Lathan Somerville is learning and growing and getting so much experience right now. I mean, Rutgers has I mean, I know they're prioritizing him, but if they can get sophomore year at Aletha Somerville, I really think this kid's got a ton of potential, and he's just been so consistent offensively. 8 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, had 4 boards. Did foul out, but gave them some 22 gutty minutes on the defensive end with Osabor, and then Jeremiah Williams. I mean, that was the key, the big three. His contributions, that steal late, just a crafty veteran move. His leadership. I mean, he was very active, talking to his teammates, keeping everybody kind of locked in. And overall, he was more efficient. 4 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 2 from three, 3 of 6 from the line, 13 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 32 minutes. Defensively, he was very good in this game. He gave them the Jeremiah Williams that they've needed all season, and that he's provided at times, but not enough. So I think at this point, when Rutgers gets these types of, I mean, Ace Bailey didn't play his best, but he gutted it out, and he stayed on the floor. And I think, for a team that struggles for long stretches, especially when Ace and Dylan aren't playing to their potential, they learned something last night in terms of just, gutting it out as a team, sticking together, staying on the floor together, and finding a way to win, making enough plays to win. Overall, Dylan Harper was plus 11. That was a team high. You had Bailey was plus 4. Jermichael Davis, I thought, gave him some good run too. 5 points for him. He had 3 assists. Did have a turnover, which is odd for him. He had a block. Harper, Bailey, and Davis all had blocks along with Jaywell. Jaywell also had 3 steals in this game. Harper and Bailey each had 2. They had 9 steals as a team. I mean, points per possession, they're 1.187. That's really efficient offensively for this team. And let's just look at some of the comps with Washington. In terms of turnovers, both teams had 12. Rutgers 12-10 edge points off of turnovers, 35-34 edge on the boards. They were even on the offensive glass. Washington did have a 13-8 edge on second chance points. And Washington had 46 points in the paint. I thought Steve Peichel switching to the zone, although not always effective, I think did give Washington a different look, confused them at times. And I think it preserved Rutgers a little bit on the offensive end in this game. I thought it was a good move. And I think it showed urgency from Steve Peichel, too. By going to the zone, he put Ace Bailey back on the floor, 10 minutes to go in the first half with 2 fouls. So I thought all of that showed real urgency from him. I think this team understands their backs are against the wall, and I think that makes them dangerous. And if they can come home now, they're still in the air as I record this. If they can come home, they play USC team Sunday night at the Rack, 6 p.m. They can get that win because, listen, it's not just about making the Big Ten tournament, right? We don't want to finish 15th. You want to see Rutgers do as well as they can. And you have home games against USC and Minnesota now. Minnesota's hot. USC's been better of late. But those are 2 winnable home games that get you to 8 wins in the conference. And then, listen, if you can win against USC, you go to Michigan and Purdue on the road back-to-back. You're not expected to win either of those games, but this team can be loose. They can have some confidence, and you never know. If they could steal one, that'd be a huge swing. And this team can go into the Big Ten tournament with some momentum, some confidence, and lay it out on the floor and just see what happens. And that's really what you're looking at this point of the season. Rutgers still just 13-14, 6-10 in the Big Ten. Tons of missed opportunities, tons of frustration. This game didn't make up for all of that, right? But at least this team responded, and they came up with a big win when they needed it. And that's huge in the sense of it's not over until it's over. And as Jim Valvano says, don't give up, don't ever give up. I'm not giving up on this team. Big game Sunday against USC. But great to see this team perform the way they did. Like I said, if Harper is the Harper he was last night, Rutgers will always have a chance. And Ace, listen, he's going through some learning curve situations. He hasn't been great the last few games, but I really loved his mentality in this game and his just ability to persevere and give Rutgers some big plays down the stretch. Jaywell, listen, everyone's rooting for him. He's a likable guy. He's had an up and down season, but gave him a big time performance. And then, what can you get from the bench? I mean, Acuff, Davis gave him a little bit off the bench, not much. I mean, Grant always gives him solid defense. So I think he's been a key part of this as well. Didn't have a big game otherwise, but I thought played within himself. And then Somerville is just so efficient offensively. And I think he's learning by the day. Jay Young, no better teacher for Lathan Somerville. And I think we're going to see him just continue to get better here. So thanks so much for listening and watching once again here at the Scarlet Faithful podcast. And I'll talk to you soon.